Hello, good evening and welcome to PITS to Podiums, our exclusive season coverage of the JK Tyre Volkswagen Vento Cup 2015. It promises to be an action-packed weekend at the Kari Motor Speedway, which is all set to witness a thrilling battle between 21 drivers as they look to speed their way to glory. If engine noise is music to your ears, then fasten your seat belts for race day 1 as we kickstart this season of the 2015 Vento Cup Motor Racing. Joining us in the studio is the head of Volkswagen Motor Racing India, Suresh. Suresh, thank you so much once again for giving us your time. Suresh, in the first episode, we did have an elaborated discussion on what this entire competition offers in terms of an opportunity, a platform for young drivers. I know I'll stand on the podium. I'll walk away with the prize money.
Correct.
What beyond that as well? It's the experience and exposure as well, I agree. But what after that? Because if I'm not mistaken, sometime back you mentioned Anandit Reddy was the Junior Cup champion as well.
Right. So basically in the championship, we have two categories, okay? We have the junior and the pro. So a junior category driver is somebody who's got less than, I believe, 8 races under his belt before coming into this without any championship. And so a junior championship winner is given a free drive in the next year's Cup Series. So Anindit, for example, he was crowned the Polo R Cup Junior Champion last year. He gets a free drive this year in the Vento Cup.
Wonderful.
So the junior champion will get a free drive in the next year's Vento Cup Championship, for example, that we're going forward. But the winner, what we do of the champion, the pro category,
right,
basically we do two things. One is we put him into a higher formula of some kind. So, for example, last year Karthik Tharani won it. He's driving in the FPO2 this year.
Superb.
And in addition to doing that, which happens in India, we actually give them some international exposure as well. And we send them, because we as Volkswagen Motorsport are present in many different countries.
Yes.
And so we always have relationships and tie-ups with amongst each other. So we send our winner to go and participate in one of the other international championships, so they can gauge where they are in terms of their level and so on, and look at where they stand.
So that's a whole lot of goodies for the championship driver there.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a phenomenal platform.
Right. Well, coming to this race now, we're having the first race in the debut season of Volkswagen Vento Motor Racing, race day 1. We're talking about the track that's going to be the Kari Motor Speedway.
Right.
Challenging stuff ahead of the drivers?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this track is very tight and twisty. It's got one very high-speed corner which is coming on.
I'm sorry to interrupt. It's only 2.1 kilometers. You know, you'd want to believe that it's a breeze. Yeah.
It's not. It's not. I mean, if you look at it this way, it's 2.1 kilometers, but there's a lot of corners stuffed into that 2.1 kilometers. So It's quite challenging.
As many as 21 drivers, Suresh, some of them who've participated before as well, some new rookies. You have a better idea of who are going to really set the pace first up in this particular race.
See, we have a very good combination of drivers. We've got guys who are continuing from last year. We've got, out of 21 drivers, we've got 6 drivers who've been part of Volkswagen Motorsport earlier, our programs. So continuing from last year, we've got Anindit Reddy, Ishan Doriwala, Karminder Singh, Amit Mete, and Prabhanjan Pachuri. But the surprise also is Sailesh Bolisetti, who was the first ever Polo Cup champion in 2010. So he's come back. So all of these guys are old hands, if you will. One of the things that our goal has been this year with the Vento Cup is to make the car so it's easier for the new guys to come in and go quickly with. So we've worked a lot on the car, and the dynamics are such that, you know, even I would expect to see a couple of the rookies actually challenging these old guys, if you will, or the returnees for the top steps of the podium.
Right, Suresh, absolutely. You'd always expect some surprises in races like this, but nevertheless, it's the qualifiers that matter the most ahead of any kind of a race. Now, Karminder Singh was last year's runner-up with a best timing this time around the practice session as well, so watch out for him. We'll take a look at the qualifiers just before the start of race 1.
Warm welcome to the JK Tyre Racing Championship 2015 round 1 at the Kari Motor Speedway track, Coimbatore. These are the beautiful Ventos. You joining in the action for the qualifying. This is that part of the circuit where it's the last corner before you come onto that home straight. Now this is a slipstream gallop. Right over here, you just go onto the throttle. as we look at Sailesh City, that was car number 18, Amit Meti, did his personal best. So Karminder Pal Singh, component number 23, will be able to slot himself in the top 6 at least. Will he be at least able to break into the top 7? He remember leading in the championship, he needs points. Okay, how is he going to do? Remember, the previous lap was 1 minute 15.108. He's got to clock under somewhere on 1 minute 14. If he's able to do that, he's going to come across on top. So 1 minute 14. So he crosses the line at 1 minute 14.722. Only 5th fastest for the moment. Now, Siddharth Balasundaram at this point of time, car number 10, clocks in about 1 minute 14.693. That is the car that we were talking about. So he's done. He's finished with his flying lap in the previous lap that just went by. So he clocks himself at number 4. So we slowly things are going to come to an end. We just got a very, very short time left in the qualifying session. So Anit Reddy, car number 25, slots himself on P1. Guess what? Sailesh Boliseri, car number 19, breaks that time and moves himself to the position number 1. That's car number 10, Siddharth Balasundaram. Now he is done well to come in down at number 4. So here we have the grid so far as cars slowly come into the pit lane. Sailesh Boliseri, car number 19, number 1. Anit Reddy, car number 25, 2. Ishan, car number 17 on 3. Siddharth Balasundaram, car number 10 on 4. Karminder Singh, car number 23 on 5. Rajesh Srivastava, car number 12 on 6. Fastest man on track, Sailesh Boliseri, 1 minute 13.950.
Well, Sailesh Boliseri on pole position, but Anandit Reddy missing out by just 0.007 seconds. Very close qualifying round for these two gentlemen.
Oh,
how do you look at it, that close encounter between the top two, the Sailesh and Anandit?
I mean, it's one of those things. I think both of them absolutely have tried their best, and Anandit, was close, but not close enough.
Right, it was the fastest lap time in the first flying lap by Sailesh. Clear indication that he had a good measure of the things over there.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Anandit set his time on the second lap, but the thing is, sometimes it's better to sort of save your tires for what's coming up, because you have a limited number of tires for the race weekend.
Exactly.
You're only allowed 6 slicks, so you have to manage these tires to your qualifying and 2 races with. So I think he's just erred on the side of caution over there. He's on the front row anyway, so it should be okay.
Right, expect them to put up a good performance as well in the race. So we'll head into a short break, but when we come back on the other side, it'll be time for race 1 as well. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere.